Hello! Since the last episode, I have simulated 2 months. I say simulated, I've played the games obviously, but 2 months worth of gameplay. But for you, it's only been a day. For me, it was quite a long time to get that through. There's a little bit of transfer business to talk about. I said we probably weren't going to do much, and it was true. We'll get to that in just a minute. Talk you through those few games that we've played. I think there's 8 or 9 that we have played. And then we play today against Hertha Berlin in the Euro Cup first knockout round. The Europa League first knockout round. First leg. You never know, depending how we get on. We might be playing Rangers as well. Who knows what might happen in today's episode of the Killie Boys. But what we do know is it's coming right after this. Yes, hello, welcome on into the Killie Boys here on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content. And if you missed the last episode, go and have a look at it. We beat Falkirk and Wraith 4-0 and 3-0. Lots and lots of goals for your eyes to feast on. It was a very exciting episode indeed. And since then, as I say, I've simulated quite a long time. We're now at the end of February. It's been 2 months I've simulated through and played some games. And I'll give you a quick update right now. You know we had our mid-season break. We came straight back from that with a Scottish Cup 4th round appearance where we played up against Celtic. David Turnbull got an early penalty for them. But thanks to goals from Nketiah and a 93rd minute winner from Vlalic, we got through the Scottish Cup 4th round after that 2-1 victory against Celtic. Very nice indeed. We then beat St Mirren 2-1 in the league thanks to goals from Hamill and Lambert after going down 1-0. And then unfortunately we lost to Celtic 2-1 in the league. We beat them in the cup but lost to them in the league. Alcatraz got a late consolation for us there. We then finished off January with a 2-0 win up against Hearts. Goals for Alfredo and Jovic got us that win. We then beat Aberdeen 1-0 the first day of February. An own goal from their goalkeeper, I think it was. It was one of those headers that bounce off a post and then off the keeper. It was one of them. But we ended up scraping that victory 1-0. Though if you look at the stats on the right hand side, we actually played fairly well. Lots of 7s in the team there. We then did win 2-1 against Motherwell, as we say. We went up 2-0 actually, thanks to 2 goals from Eddie Nketiah. Ryan Porteous, who just transferred there from Hibs, scored a penalty to make it 2-1, and it stayed like that throughout the second half. We then played Hamilton in the Scottish Cup 5th round after we beat Celtic in the 4th round, and unfortunately we lost to Hamilton 2-0. It was a slightly rotated side, and we ended up losing 2 late goals to lose that game 2-0. Then we played Dundee United, a hat-trick for Matteo Di Mao in that game made us win that game at 3-1, and then almost the complete opposite of the way we played against Celtic in the Cup and then the league, where we beat them and then lost them in the league. Well, we lost to Hamilton in the Cup and then we beat them 2-0 in the league just after that. Alcatraz and Boba with the 2 goals. So that put us up 2-0 in that game, which meant, if you look at the Premiership table here, we're actually 8 points ahead of Rangers because they've dropped a few points. Celtic have actually caught right up. Remember I was saying a few months ago, or a few episodes ago, Hibs looked like they were going to be competing with us and Rangers, possibly. No, Hibs have completely fallen away. Rangers and Celtic are about, between 8 and 10 points behind us, and we are clear at the top of the table. So it looks like it's our league to lose, so long as we keep up some decent form as we have been doing. And that's why today, though I said in the last episode we're going to play Hertha and Rangers today, what we're going to do is just play Hertha because I'm going to update you on the other stuff that we've done as well in terms of transfers. And then in the next episode, we'll play Rangers and the second leg of Hertha, because playing against Hibs doesn't really make any sense anymore because they're not part of our title race. A win against Rangers in that next episode could actually put us, 11 points ahead, depending on how Celtic do, with only 10 games to go. That's a fairly decent advantage to have. But anyway, as I say, look at us, top of the league table there. But we don't have to worry about the Premiership today. We have to worry about the Europa League first knockout round. But before we even worry about that, let's have a look at some of the transfers we made in January. It's just a handful, but there's some names you might know. When I say there's some names you might know, that's obvious because some of them are out, so you'll obviously have known them from playing with us. Kieran Tierney's went out on loan to France. He really was not playing for us. He was down to 4th choice left back, so we got rid of him. Most of his wages are being taken by this other team. He was on £52,000 a week. That's a lot of money for your fourth choice left back. So he's out on loan for the rest of the season. You might remember Manuel Castellano. A season or so ago, he was kind of our backup winger striker. We played £5.5 million for him from Rosario Central. He scored 3 goals in 16 appearances. Well, he hasn't really played this season, so we set him out on loan to Montpellier. He's a very, very good player. And looking at his stats, he's fairly decent. Worth £9 million. So I say he's out on loan at Montpellier. See how he develops. He might come back and take over that role soon. And unfortunately, Yao Francisco's out on loan again. See, we had him out on loan at Brazil and then a couple of seasons at Montpellier. We thought he might be playing a few more games for us this season, but based on some ins, which you'll see in a minute, don't think he is going to really get as many games as I was hoping. So he's out on loan at Galatasaray, and you can see since he's been there, he's played 6 times, scored 2 goals and assists to player of the match, 7.37 average rating. He's doing pretty well out there. Hopefully he can continue his development when he's out there. Remember, we only paid £7,000 for him when we signed him. He's now worth 8.7 million, and he's a very, very solid player. Hopefully he can come back, as I say, and be solid for us, even if it's just as a squad player, because he might not get in as a first choice central midfielder. And now some important ones in terms of selling and making money for us. We've sold Louis Sibley to Fulham. Well, technically he signed a pre-contract agreement with Fulham, and we said, how about you give us 1.2 million to make it happen now? They went, sure. So Louis Sibley has went to Fulham for 1.2 million after we signed him for a free. Played all right for us the first couple of seasons, but he's not really played for us this season. We're going to lose him on a free anyway, so happy to make £1 million off him. A player who I'm not even sure if you guys know who he is. Yao Zino, we signed him at the end of last season or the start of this season. I'm not quite sure when, even I don't remember, for free from Brazil. He's never really developed for us. He was only a kind of 2-star player. Now, for some reason, my scouts think he's a 3-star player. But he was only a 2-star player. He wasn't really doing it for us. He wasn't in our first squad even. He was in the reserves. And Nuremberg came in here with an offer of 4.3 million up front, possibly up to 6.7. I thought, why not? We'll take that. So he's away to Germany now. Another player who you might know, you might not, is Rhys Claus. We signed him from Cliftonville on a free several years ago. I'm not sure if I mentioned him or not. He was developing very nicely in our youth academy. Played for Hamilton last year and scored 12 goals in 32 appearances. Well, Everton came in and offered 4.3 million, possibly up to 6. And if you look at his stats, he's finishing 17. That's good. But, you know, it's nothing out of this world compared to some of the strikers we have. And yeah, I was happy to make that amount of money off him because I don't think he's ever going to be our first choice striker. So away he goes for £4 million. And now we get to a couple of big ones. Eduardo Pena, one of our Pena brothers, even though one's Mexican and one's Romanian, so they're not actual brothers. But the Eduardo Pena, who was playing at centre-back and centre-mid for us, remember, he is now away to Birmingham City for £20 million. Not bad, since you signed him for 1.3. Loaned him out to West Brom last season, where he played 39 times. He's only played 7 times for us this season and 6.7 average rating. And we've made £20 million for him, selling him to Birmingham City. I think that's a pretty solid deal we've done there. Turned a 1.3 million signing into a £20 million sale. So it's sad to see him go, but it means we won't get mixed up with our Penas either. But £20 million into the bank. And lastly, this might be one of the best pieces of business that's ever been done on a football field. We signed Niccolò Armini from Roma on a free 6 months ago. He played 7 times for it. He was alright when he played for us, a 7 average rating. But at 29 years of age, he was only kind of starting to reach that cliff and fall off the edge of the cliff in terms of development. And Guangzhou from China offered £30 million for him. So we got him for free, and 6 months later sell him for £30 million. That is a solid piece of business, if I've ever seen one. So he was very good for us, I must say, but happy to get £30 million for him. Cannot complain about that. So Niccolò Armini is out, unfortunately. And also Eduardo Pena. So that means a couple of our backup centre-backs aren't there. So you can imagine the position we may have brought someone in to replace them there. But yeah, £30 million made on Armini. Here's one of the first players that we've brought, and it's a young 19-year-old Norwegian centre-back called Jeff Eisner. We signed him from Rosenborg for £6 million. You can see he's played a couple of times for us, a 6.8 rating. He looks an alright player. He can play across the back line, but mainly as a centre-back. He's 6 foot tall. His physicals are very, very good. His pace and acceleration is the lowest at 12 and 13, but He's got good strength, good balance, good stamina for a centre back there. He's nice and aggressive. He's brave. He's got good positioning. His tackling here's a 15, heading a 15. His marking could maybe be slightly improved, but as a centre back, I think he's fairly solid. Maybe could do with improving his concentration slightly as well. But 19 years of age, he can develop. And there was a risk where we're going to lose Sergio Perez because of his release clause. We haven't lost him yet, but we might still in the future. So this young man could very easily replace him, I think, in the future. But yeah, just nice player for £6 million. We've also signed David Pospisil, the Czech Republic international from Slavia Prague for £10 million. He's played 5 times for us now. 19 years of age as well. Nice young player. He's basically a Eduardo Pena replacement. He can play at centre-back or defensive mid or centre-mid. Nice across those 3 positions, the same as Pena was. But he basically cost us 10 million and we got 20 for Pena. So it was a fairly decent deal. 19 years of age, as I say as well. Got nice physicals. He's got some nice greens in there. Determinations went down apparently, but it was 19, possibly it might have been 20 when he first arrived. Nice vision and work rate. He looks like he's going to be a good playmaking type player. Passing of 17, first touch 17. Looks very, very solid. Perhaps his defensive stats, tackling 13, marking 12, headings only 10. Maybe he's not going to be an ideal centre back, but certainly as a kind of playmaker in midfield, I'm imagining him alongside Vlalic, kind of rotating in that playmaker role, depending what we're playing in. He could be a very, very good player there. It says he can also play as a box-to-box. When you scroll through some of the stuff here on the left-hand side, he's happy as a box-to-box midfielder as well. But I think it's things like his dribbling and his finishing and stuff like that. Mainly those could do it with improvement before he becomes a box-to-box. But certainly as a deep-lying playmaker in that central midfield area, he's got the statistics for that. Maybe his position needs to improve slightly, but yeah, I can see him being a nice playmaker for us as a backup to Vlalic in there. Not bad at all. And also, he can cover across the back line if he has to. Not his best position, but he can. And then it got to transfer deadline day, and for some reason I panicked and I re-signed Ted and Menge. Those who have been watching this series from the start remember, right at the start, the first season, we loaned Ted and Menge from Man United. He played 38 times for us, was very, very solid at the back alongside Stuart Finlay. Second season, we signed him on loan again, and then he was recalled halfway through the season, remember, for some reason. I can't even remember that far back. Were we not playing him enough? I can't remember. But yeah, so we had him on loan for a couple of seasons there. He then spent time at Newcastle, Aston Villa, Wolfsburg. Schalke then signed him on a free and then played him a few times and things like that, and he eventually was out of favour, and we've signed him for 20 million. He's not worth 20 million. It's a bit of a mistake. He's only worth 13 million now, actually. He's still 28 years of age. So, he's actually younger than Armini, who we sold for 30. This is who I'm imagining as the replacement for Armini, if you're with me. He's cost less money, he's slightly younger, he's English, which always puts the value of them up slightly as well. So maybe if we sell him on to an English club, we can get lots of money for him. That's what I'm convincing myself. Anyway, still got very good physical stats there. His defensive of heading at 11 is slightly worrying. Marking 14 is okay, could perhaps do with better tackling. He can also play on the right as well as at centre-back. You can see on the right, his crossing is only 4, but he does have the pace and stamina to go up and down the side as well. And he's got good teamwork, could maybe do with some slightly better stats if he's going to be a wing back. But yeah, definitely as a backup centre-half, more than happy to have him in here behind Perez and behind obviously Darren Anderson as well. Nice third or fourth choice, because probably Esteban Rodriguez is ahead of him as well. So maybe £20 million for the fourth choice centre-back was not the best idea I've ever done. But yeah, so that leaves us with a very, very strong squad ready for the second half of the season. You see players like Tomas and Menge and Guerrero sat there in the reserves, mainly looking at defensive loads. We've got very good strength and defensive depth there. Ryan Hamill's not even on the bench for today either, because we've got a really, really strong squad. So I'm looking forward to that. And this is the team that's actually going to go up against Hertha Berlin in our first round of the Europa League knockout stages. Here is that team. Francois in goal. He's been performing very, very well this season, so hopefully he can continue that. Perez and Anderson at centre-back, as always. Sika on the right, and we're going to go with Carrasco on the left. Between him and Greno, they're kind of playing quite well, both of them. So, but Carrasco gets the call today anyway. You can see in his last 5 games, a 7.32 average rating, which ain't half bad. Vlalic alongside Stacey in midfield today, with Jovic just ahead of them. Boba gets the game on the right-hand side today, so there's no Alcatraz or Lambert out there, it's Boba out there. So Nketiah gets the game on the left, and Demal's getting the game up front after his hat-trick a couple of games ago. Hopefully, he can score some goals here. Alfredo, his shooting boots really haven't been on. He's got a 6.64. It's just above or behind my head. I'll scroll it down. See a 6.64 average rating for Alfredo, which is, I'll put it lightly, not that great, is it? And I know he scored 16 goals, but not many of them have been recently, so he's going to sit on the bench and maybe he'll make an impact off the bench. But Demal gets the game up front today. So we have no double-digit goal scorers, but we do have Boba on 8, Jovic on 6, Nketiah on 7, Demal on 9. So hopefully one of them will turn into a double-digit goal scorer after today's performance. But yes, as I say, we're just going to do the one game today because we had all that stuff for the transfer window and give you an update as well. But tomorrow, you will get to see Rangers and the second leg of this game as well. Which, I'll be honest, is very interesting because you know what? Hertha Berlin have managed to buy Hulk. Yes, the former Brazilian winger who used to play for Zenit and Porto is the manager of Hertha Berlin now. Of all the players who are playing football currently that I would have thought would be a manager, I don't know if I'd have put Hulk as one of them, but Football Manager must know something more than I do. Well, here we go, a very early highlight. Boba with the corner, swings it in. It's headed in by Darren Anderson. His first goal of this season. I was making a comment in the last game how we're normally very good from set pieces and in the air, but obviously not maybe as good with the centre-backs. I thought, no, Perez has scored a few. I didn't realise Anderson hadn't scored any, but there you go. He beats Pardo up to it, and within a couple of minutes, we're up 1-0 here against Hertha Berlin, and hopefully we can dominate this game. I remember the last time we played them was about 4 or 5 years ago now. It was a qualifying round for one of the European competitions. We drew 0-0 at Rugby Park and then lost 4-0 in Berlin. So hopefully that won't happen today, and it certainly won't because we're up 1-0 at Rugby Park. So we can't draw 0-0. But hopefully we don't get demolished in Berlin, is basically what I'm trying to say. And Berlin have got the ball here at the back, Hertha. But they've lost the ball now. Vlalic has got a hold of it. Finds Jovic. He can surely find Boba here. No, he tried to find Demal, and it was a poor pass. But now Perez has found Boba, and Boba's gone down the line. Cutting to Jovic. Finished. There we go. 12 minutes gone. 2-0. I think this could be quite a few if we keep playing like this. We have been very, very good so far. Nice, fluid passing play. Just what you want to see from the Killie boys here. Boba down the right, cuts it back, and Jovic slots that in at the front post, and it's 2-0. Well, that might have been a commentator's curse because now there's not been a highlight since I said we were looking very good. You can see here there's 5 minutes to go until half-time. It's still 2-0. Boba down there, you can't see it because of my face, unfortunately. He's currently on an 8 average rating, which is very, very solid. But yeah, we've reached half-time, 2-0 up. Very happy with that. But hopefully we can score some more goals here to make life a little bit more comfortable going into that second leg. Perez launched the ball forward, but it was intercepted. And Sika's intercepted it now. Jovic, Demal's clean through. Can he finish? He can indeed. Matteo Demal, his 10th goal of the season. I told you that somebody would be getting into double figures today, and it was Demal. After his hat-trick a couple of games ago, he's now got a goal in this game to put us at 3-0 up just 20 seconds after the restart. A very solid finish from him. He's been a very good signing for us, and we're up 3-0 now. I made a couple of early changes here actually. I've brought Rodriguez on for Sika right back. Boba's moved to the left, and Nketiah's come off, and Lambert's come on for him. So just getting some fresh legs out there. But here is Vinet here for Hertha Berlin. Can he shoot? It was a good save from Francois in that one-on-one opportunity. And hopefully Carrasco clears this ball away. Indeed he did, and we're still up 3-0. And Boba wins that header. Stacey swings it in. It's cleared away. Sorry, I was a bit late to that highlight. And Vinet comes away with the ball here. Up against Perez. He goes down line, cuts it back. Maserati, what a finish from that lad. Goodness me, just wait for this replay and see it slightly slower. Francois had absolutely no chance of getting that. I see Vinet here down the left-hand side. He'll cut this ball back. Maserati will hit that. Oh, right into the roof of the net. 3-1. What a finish on them. And now Hertha back in this game. 10 minutes to go here. We brought on Eduardo Pena at attacking mid for Lubo Jovic. Just had a little bit more kind of stability in the midfield there. Pena slightly more defensive. The ball's played forward though, and it was picked up by the Hertha defence here. And hey, they could come back into this game now. We'll need to watch ourselves. They go down the left-hand side here with Okoye. He's going up against Rodriguez. Back to Dahl here. Over to a name I'm not going to try and say. Vinet with it. Forward, Perez intercepts and it's cleared by Carrasco, but it's only as far as Mert. And I'm not going to say that guy's name again. Vinet with it through to Maserati, and he's dinked over the goalkeeper, but it looks like that is offside. Is it? They're checking VAR for offside. The assistant referee appears to have stood still. Yes, indeed. Goal has been disallowed. We're lucky there. We could have been punished for a lapse of concentration from Maserati for the second time in this game. He's been playing very well in this second half, but thankfully not a goal. There are 4 minutes added time, and here is a highlight. If Hertha get a goal from it, game on for the travel over to Germany. If we get one, you'd say we've solidified our position. Looks like no one's going to get a goal though. Maserati misses that there, but there's another highlight. The end of this game's got very exciting indeed. Our left back is absolutely nowhere to be seen. Cabrita with it. It's a good save from Francois. Where on earth was Carrasco? That was not good defending at all, and he's just thrown the ball straight away. At least he's in position this time, but Stacey gets there. I'm not going to try and say his name either. He cuts in field. He switches the ball over to Okoye. He switches to Cabrita, and Carrasco heads it away. Cabrita with it. Down their right-hand side, he challenges Carrasco. Oh, and the ball swung in the middle, and it's cleared away just about. This is horrendously erratic defending from us. It's not the most solid defensive work I've ever seen from us, I must say, but we have got the ball out the park there. They come back again with it. Carrasco, just clear your lines. Bloater up the park. It's come to an end this second half. Breathtaking, they describe it in the comments down the bottom. There's some solid performances from a lot of people in this game, including Boba, who didn't get a goal himself, but he was very much involved in a lot of things today, and a nice solid performance from him, both on the right and the left-hand side. So looking at the other results around the ground, Celtic got a 1-1 draw at home to Leverkusen. Rangers do play in this round as well, but weirdly their first leg is on Tuesday next week, and then they play on the Thursday as well on the second leg. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it does mean that we play Rangers on the Saturday this week at the weekend, even though we've played on the Thursday night, so it could be pretty tricky in terms of fitness for our players. But then it's tricky for Rangers because they're going to play the Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. Lots of games back to back for them, so not ideal either way, but hopefully we can still get a result against Rangers in the league. If we can, especially after the 3-1 win against Hertha, we might be able to put out a few of the rotational players for that second leg away in Berlin in a week's time. But yes, a nice 3-1 victory. We've got Rangers and Hertha to play in the next episode, and that'll be coming tomorrow. So if you're looking forward to that, then please do leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next one, we'll see you then.